This guy is one of the top tight ends in NFL history and also one of the most prolific pass catchers in Dallas Cowboys history. Jeremy.
Anybody who's followed the Cowboys knows that
exhausted by now. It's just exhausting. There is more drama than there is Broadway every night.
This guy is the antithesis of drama.
He is a tough
guy,
tough player.
What's remarkable about it is that he comes from a background that, at least when he was very young, was remarkably unstable.
He's in a very unique position because he is an NFL player who has seen domestic violence from a completely different perspective.
Hop in, buddy. Back seat. You ready to roll?
It's summertime in Dallas.
You guys think there'll be any fish out there?
Yeah, because it's summer.
Summer? They're gonna be out?
Yeah.
What kind of a father is Jason?
The best. He has so much energy. He's so awesome.
Duck? Yeah, there's the ducks. Yeah, you see the ducks?
Sometimes I'll say, you don't have to always play with them. He goes, but I think they have more fun when I play with them.
1, 2, 3. There you go. Now watch it.
He just is, their hero.
I got one
Nice.
fish.
Good boy, Coop.
I caught one.
Awesome. Good one, brother. Can I get some?
Jason Witten is the father he wishes he had had.
Here we go.
Today, an amateur fishing instructor,
Watch the bobber.
a wiffle ball pitcher.
Oh, nice, nice.
On Sundays,
He's safe.
he's something else.
In the end zone, Witten to the post. Touchdown, Cowboys.
I think he's missed one game in 12 years. People just don't understand how incredible that really is.
Lost his helmet, keeps running.
It's scary how tough he is. On a level of 1 to 10, he's probably at 11. He's as tough as they get.
He just has it inside of him, and he could probably go back to his childhood in some way.
That childhood, marred by the violent nights that tore his family apart, still haunts him.
There was a lot of hurt. It was like a nightmare. But some of the greatest qualities that I have as an individual, as a football player, as a husband, as a man, are the things that I learned through those experiences.
May 6, 1982, weighing in at 11 pounds, Christopher Jason Witten was born.
He was a mama's boy. When he was little, he didn't want much to do with anybody besides me. He was just a great kid.
Jason and his 2 older brothers were raised in an apartment in the Washington, D.C. suburbs by their mother, Kim, a stay-at-home mom, and their father, Eddie.
My dad was a big man, 6'8", and 300 and some change, I'm sure. He was a mailman, worked for the Postal Service. Got up every morning and went to work. He was a good athlete. He pushed us hard as athletes. I loved him, absolutely.
It was the perfect life, We had a mom and dad and 3 boys, and man, we were into so much. It was great.
For several years, it was, really good. Their dad was very much a part of their life. But, things changed.
That change came to the Witten household when Jason was 6, and his father's behavior became erratic.
You didn't know which man was going to come home, and more times than not, it was going to be the dad you loved. But there were situations when it was somebody that you hope would never come back.
Sometimes maybe come to a couple of games, you're playing a ball game and he show up and he's not in the best state of mind. You get addicted to the drugs and alcohol, and you find your way at the bottom of the barrel.
There was nights where, the police was coming to the house because there was an argument, or Alcohol and drug abuse was involved, and domestic violence was involved in our life to a point that you didn't know which way it was going to go.
Sometimes it maybe got a little physical. My mom would, take us to get us out of there, you know, and let everything wear off.
Did you see your father strike your mother?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him, I saw him abuse my mom for sure.
Did he abuse you?
No. You know, I think being the youngest, a lot of that was to others, not to me.
The worst part was probably seeing my kids hurt. I really don't want to talk about that.
Jason's mother says she and Jason's two older brothers were abused on and off for 5 years.
I realized that this was not the way it was supposed to be. That wasn't the way I was raised, and that sure wasn't the way that I wanted my children raised. And so, you know, I set a plan in motion, and when we left, I told my children we're leaving, you know.
And so, in 1993, when Jason was 11, his mother took her boys and left Jason's father. She went 400 miles to Elizabethton, Tennessee, where she'd grown up. Moving in with their grandparents, the boys had a new father figure.
I think it's important that a man be a man. And be a man, you got to have proper manners. Open the doors for women. You know, don't sit down until they sit down. I mean, those are manner things that you learn when you're a kid.
He was their male role model. He was the only male role model that they had.
Dave Ryder was also a legendary high school football coach. Jason would first play for his grandfather in 1996.
One time, Jason came up when he was in 9th grade. Said, Papaw. Well, as soon as he got Papaw out, Sean went over and grabbed him. You don't call him Papaw there, you call him Coach.
That coach molded Jason into a dominating player on both sides of the ball. A 6'6", 240-pound tight end / linebacker, Witten was a parade All-American and the USA Today Player of the Year in Tennessee.
Jason Witten, the son of Kim Witten and grandson of Dave and Deanna Ryder.
November 1999, Jason's senior night. On hand, his mother, grandmother, and grandfather. His father wasn't there.
I got to see my dad occasionally, and, you know, and once every 2 months turned into once every 4 or